It's another fun day for us because we're here with Thron, and I'm talking to PV3 all the way from Germany. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm very good, thank you.
Great. Now we know you have a new CD coming out called Dust. We were lucky enough to hear a track off it. There's one floating around YouTube. So let's just get right into that, start talking about the new album. Release date.
Yeah.
When are they going to be able to pick this monster out?
It's 31st of March, this year, so soon.
Very
The end of
soon.
March.
Great. And how many tracks are going to be on this thing when it's released?
On the CD there will be 11 tracks, and on the vinyl there will be 9 tracks. So 2 bonus tracks on the CD.
Okay, but you can get it on vinyl, and all you guys that love vinyl, you know you're going to want that copy as well, just because even if you don't have a record player, it's a great collector piece. So you want to pick that one up. And we can pick that up in all the normal places like we've been able to pick up all the other Thron albums, CD Baby, Amazon, or Apple, and all that stuff.
Yeah, right, you're absolutely right.
Now, we've also been on the website, and it's a monster website. Let's give them the address for that. I'm going to post a link down here. And the reason I say that is you can get all the info you need, the tour dates, the merch stuff. You know all about the album. But what is the exact address for the website?
It's www.Thron Cult. Oh, that's German. You know, Thron is German, so it's THRONKVLT.com.
There you go. That's exactly. And I have it right down here, so it's flashing. We'll have links and descriptions and everything for that. Now, here's something, because the band's been around for a while. This isn't a flash in the pan thing. After COVID came back, how was writing this album different than possibly writing any of the other albums?
Because of COVID, I had more time to write it. So I'm writing all of the music, and we weren't touring that much. So I took more time and more detail into writing that album. And we had a new drummer and a new guitar player, and our new drummer, he's awesome, and he influenced that album a lot. So that was different.
And no, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, I was finished.
And tour dates, we don't see a whole lot coming up from the website. I think there's something coming up later in the year. But is there anything possibly in the spring or summer?
Yeah, summer and fall, I think. There are some shows in the pipe which are not confirmed yet, because in Germany it's still a bit hard. Like what I've heard in the rest of the world, touring and playing shows is kind of back to normal. In Germany is one of the countries which is still a bit hard to do that. Yeah. Because the promoters are reluctant and people are reluctant to buy tickets in pre-sales, so yeah.
That's
a bit of situation, yeah.
It's tough, you know. I know here in the States it's tough. I mean, unless you're a very huge act that's selling out arenas or stadiums, it's really hard just getting back on tour and getting things going. After COVID, it's just, the market just seemed very weird. But again, everyone's still putting out lots of great music, like you guys as well.
Yeah, that's a good thing about it. Like, many bands are putting more effort, more energy, and more detail in it. That's my feeling, and because they take more time, because they're not interrupted by touring obligations and stuff like that. So they really, not all of them, but a lot of them are, focusing more on that. But it's interesting to say that in the States it's also a bit like in Germany, because I was under the impression that in the States it's everything back to normal, you know, everyone is touring like before and people are there like before.
Well, here, people are there like before. There's definitely, you know, it's in a sense life is back to normal, but from a standpoint of music, unless you're very, very established, touring is still hard, especially for the little guys and the younger bands. It's really tough. You're going into clubs which sometimes there's people, sometimes there's not. It's making money's tough in a sense, and you know what I mean. It seems like your money isn't really the ticket sales anymore; it's merch, and that sort of thing. And that's where it gets harder for the little guys to make money. They're out there, and everyone's trying to do things, but because of the music industry, and no one's buying music the way they used to because they steal it here and there, that's where it just gets a little hard. And as I said, unless you're a super established artist that's able to do a tour and sell 30,000 seaters or 10,000 seaters or stadiums, it's really harder for the little guys. You know what I mean? For you guys, you've been around since 2015, so you're more established. When you go on a tour and you're bringing an act or two with you, those are the guys that are really finding it hard to do things, especially here in the States. But definitely things are back to normal. Promoters will book shows. That's not the issue. I just know too many bands that are living hand to mouth, so to speak, on the road. And that's never good.
No, you're right. Absolutely right.
So now you were talking earlier. You have a new drummer and a new guitar player. How'd you find these guys?
It was pretty easy. They live, like the drummer is just living an hour away from me. Like I live on the border to Switzerland and France.
Okay.
In Germany, southern Germany. So the capital of Switzerland, Bern, is just an hour away from me. And I knew this guy from Bern, because we played with his other band, and I was blown away by this guy. He's 25, and he's one of the best drummers I know in Europe for metal. And I asked him, "Do you want to play with us?" And he immediately answered me, like on Facebook. He was like, "Sure, I'm a big Thron fan. I will join you." And I bring my bandmate from my band with me, so we had a guitar player at the same time.
Wow, there you go. That's nice and easy. Now, when it came to recording this album, was this a situation where everyone was able to get in the same room, or was it a COVID type situation where everyone was recording something in their part of the world, or where they were locked into, and then sent their part to like you to mix everything down? How did that work out?
There weren't any restrictions anymore, so we could meet, but we always, this is our fourth album, and every one of us, the new members as well as our old members, have an own studio. So we are sitting right now in my own studio, and everyone is actually recording his stuff in his own studio, because it's the easiest way to do. You don't have to book another studio. You have time. You don't have like a deadline most of the time. You can record when you want, or when you have the time or the passion for it, and the energy and the patience. So we did it like we did it before, and it didn't have to do with COVID actually, because there weren't any restrictions then for coming together and
No, that's perfect, and I'm the same way. There's a room over here that's the recording studio, and another room down there that's the guitar room, so I definitely understand about having the ability to record on your own without having the cost factor in it, so I could do what I want and then mix down. And what people really never know and understand, recording is technically the easy part. Mixing down your product and getting it finalized is where you're going to take 90% of your time. And
this is the hardest part. But the mix is done by our old drummer, which has I could have done the mix as well, but I'm not as good as our old drummer, who's our producer. So he produced it in his real professional studio. He's doing this. He's producing a lot of metal bands from Germany, and also from the States, and from all over the world actually. And so he mixed and mastered the whole thing. I never could have done it that good as he did. So mixing is the hardest part, yeah.
And again, we love what we've heard. So you go out there on YouTube, you'll be able to find one track that's just enough to make your mouth water, and then you're going to know March 31st, you're going to want to pick up Dust and have that sucker in your hand. So it's going to burn a hole in your machine, because it's definitely something that's going to be on your playlist. We love what we heard. It's definitely something hard. It's in your face. There's definitely no one phoning it in, so to speak, on this. Everybody is really there, and it's something we love, and we know you're going to love.
Thank you, man. That's good to hear.
So, in wrapping this sort of thing up, we want to ask you probably the most important question we do ask in an interview. What might we have left out about Thron or the new album Dust that you need to let them know about?
Oh man, what have you left out? If you're into extreme metal, like with a lot of different influences from prog rock to goth rock to black metal to death metal to classic heavy metal, buy this album.
And honestly, you're really going to love it, because the guys are great, the music's great, they're tight, and it's something that again, it's in your face, it's there, it's live, it has a punch to it, and there's really nothing more to say other than you're going to love this thing. Now, hey, we have a little game we play when we're live with people, because besides doing the interview stuff, we do a live filming, which again, when we get a chance and when touring's up and we're working on doing a European thing, we'll get out there and we'll do the live stuff. We have, I think, 16 cameras and multiple formats when we actually shoot bands live. But our game's called Roll the Bones. Generally, I'll pull a 30-sided dice out, where most people think we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons, but we're not. I have 30 pre-selected questions. Let's see, there's your camera. 30 pre-selected questions. I think 4 or 5 even deal with music. Since you don't have a dice, pick a number between 1 and 30.
21.
Oh, 21. Last tour, because we're not on a tour at this moment, but the question is, how many hotel rooms have you trashed this tour? So we'll go last tour you're on, how many rooms did you guys trash?
Let me think. 1.
Hey, that's cool. Now, since I know all the questions, I'm going to let you pick a number for me, so it's somewhat fair.
4.
4. And 4 is it better to burn out or fade away? I'm going to say it's better to burn out. Though I'm 60, so I think I'm fading away. But that's just my line.
I'm 47. I say burnout.
Yeah, there you go. That's always a fun one. Well, my friend, I think we covered everything we need to cover. So for myself, for PV3, for Thron, for Buzztv, March 31st, you get ready. Dust is going to be ready to be in your hands. We're out of here, guys. See ya.
See you. Thank you, man.